Hi friends, Kimberley here. So this is the second episode now where I like to go in and explain further in my own words the teachings that is brought forth in each of our channeling sessions, our group channeling sessions that you see on YouTube. So the latest one was the Ascension Teachings Q&A with the Arcturian Collective. Now, for those of you who've watched it, there is a lot of information there. So today I am going to further go into the details of the session. This will probably be just a part one as there is a lot of information there. So today I want to talk more about what was talked about in detail in the session, about how the current Great Awakening is allowing us to remember our galactic origins and to remember and to further activate our galactic abilities. So many of you that are watching already have awareness of galactic origins within you, but overtly, much of the collective is not aware. And this is what the current Great Awakening shift is all about. In part, the current Great Awakening that is occurring now, which is a collective expansion of the collective human consciousness, what is occurring now with these shifts and what we see in our society is actually all in preparation for the galactic brothers and sisters to visit us in an overt way in our society. So there are different reasons why this has been preparing us for this visitation, why everything that is occurring in our society, in our world, is preparing us. So the reason why we are now ready to have this visitation in an overt way in our society is because we as a majority have processed enough fear, have asked the right existential questions that has allowed us to be as a collective at a certain vibration that when the ETs make themselves known, we will react in a majority in love and acceptance as opposed to fear. And when it's the majority, it means more than half of the collective. Of course, some will be in fear, and that is understandable. But this is why we are going through these shifts now, to allow us to ask these existential questions, for us to process the fears and limiting beliefs. So when it actually happens, we'll be able to be in loving acceptance of the experience. Now, another reason why the shifts are occurring is so us as a collective can be at a certain frequency, a dimensional frequency, so that ETs can actually be here and visit us in an overt way, in ways where the collective will be able to see the experience, to experience the visitation. So yes, this might be in a material nature that they come to visit us. So to allow them to basically make themselves known in such an overt way and be still at a high vibrational existence, in a dimensional existence, because guess what? All beings, including all galactic beings, are multidimensional nature. Then we as a collective have to be at a certain vibration for that to be a match to their vibration. Can't you see? So there is different reasons why we're going through this Great Awakening. So part of it is for this ET visitation to occur, which they say is coming soon. But of course, that is up to us. It is up to the collective to do our inner work, our shadow work, to process our fears, to answer all the existential questions so we are prepared for it. So we are able to answer further existential questions, to be able to be comfortable with certain experiences. So when they do occur, we can act in love and acceptance. And of course, many of you have also had visitations with the galactic ones, but this is because it's part of your journey and because you are vibrationally ready to remember more of who you are. And because most of you who are watching this are the light workers, so we have been basically asked to prepare a little bit earlier than others. So when this grand event occurs, we can help others who are in fear, to help them to process the emotions and beliefs associated and elicited with this great visitation. Right. So part of this visitation and part of us being prepared for it is actually getting used to and being comfortable with the ET presences. So we might be aware of ETs, maybe you've watched these channelings or other channels who channel ETs, perhaps you have seen them in your third eye, but perhaps not been able to see them in a material sense. So even though we may know of their existence, it's about really honestly asking ourselves, if we are comfortable, if an ET just materialized right in front of us. So even though we are aware of their existence, for many, if an ET would materialize in front of you, it might be a little bit jarring, confronting, and that's understandable. So it's about us being comfortable with all forms of visitations. Now, the Arcturians in this session talk about how we can connect to them in any moment, but it's just opening our beliefs to know that we can actually do this. And one suggestion was, for a less confronting way to visit with them as we prepare ourselves, is to make the intention to visit them while we sleep. Because as a lot of you know, when we go to sleep, we visit non-physical planes of existence. So we can make the intention to visit with them and also make the intention to remember our visitation. So the question is, how do we connect with certain beings and where do we even start? So basically, it is about finding the resonance. Are there certain galactic beings or star systems that you resonate with? When you resonate with something, it is you remembering this connection for yourself. It is a remembering that is permeating your conscious awareness. Because guess what? We have galactic DNA within us. And another part of this great awakening journey is us actually activating this galactic DNA within us. This galactic DNA has been dormant within us. It can only be activated when we are vibrationally ready. We are vibrationally ready to remember more of who we are. And the ET arrival is to assist us move into further dimensions of oneness remembrance. That is, knowing, remembering that we are one with all that is. So, how do you connect? How do you find this resonance? The resonance to certain galactic beings, certain star systems. This resonance, this permeation of remembrance of who you are into your conscious awareness will occur when you are vibrationally ready. And this is why it's important. If you want to actively connect with the ET beings, it is about practicing different forms of communication. It is about actively asking yourself, are you comfortable to connect with galactics in various ways? Being open and making the intention to connect, to remember. It's about raising your frequency, your vibration, by processing your fears, your limiting beliefs, by being comfortable with the idea that you are not alone, being comfortable with any form of contact. So once you can do this, your frequency, your vibration will naturally increase, and you will be able to have that resonance. You will feel guided, inspired to maybe search for certain ETs. Perhaps this could be a Google search, Or it could be you just having a resonance feeling and inspiration to maybe look at certain star systems. They're clues for you. And all these clues, this resonance is a sign that this is an aspect of you. It is a sign that this is part of your galactic DNA. And we have different types of galactic DNA. And basically what the Arcturian said that this all depends on our origins and the country we were born through, and also our soul purpose here. So it's about exploring and just being open to all forms of communication. And as you explore this resonance, this connection to certain galactic beings or star systems, what will happen is that this actually strengthens the line of communication with the galactic beings. And by you exploring the resonance, what happens is that you then further activate the remembrance of who you are, and you will also activate galactic abilities. There might be different forms of psychic abilities, but these are abilities that are sourced from your galactic origins, that's sourced also from your multidimensional lives, because you are living here as human and also living lives as ET beings. So it's about raising your frequency and allowing these abilities to come through you when you're vibrationally ready. And these activations are actually within our blood and DNA. There is nothing you need to really do, because these activations are from codes. These codes are actually already within us. We just perceive them to be in a somewhat dormant state, but they're always there. They're just being activated in our dimensional experience of conscious awareness. And that's why using resonance is a clue that this is a galactic DNA within you, and it's here where you can further focus to further activate more of this DNA within you, these remembrances within you of who you are. We are one with all that is. And this grand visitation that's going to occur will help move the collective more into oneness remembrance, because we will no longer be us against another nation. We will then truly see ourselves as one race. And this process, this awareness, will allow us to even then further expand our consciousness and propel us to yet another step in our human evolution, an evolution of consciousness into oneness remembrance. We are one with each other. And with the ET arrival, it will allow us to then go into another stage to remember that we are not only one with each other, but we are also one with our galactic brothers and sisters. Can't you see there is a process here? And it's a process of addressing our fears and limiting beliefs and asking questions about our reality. And that is what is occurring now in the current Great Awakening. You know, you see a lot of people in our society that is asking a lot of questions, questioning our reality, such as questioning our government and so forth. And this is a natural part of the Great Awakening process. But it's about processing your fears that allows you not to get stuck in this exploration from a fear-based perspective, knowing that everything is happening for us out of love to allow us to remember more of our oneness state. So yes, we are truly not alone in this universe. And it is about connecting, using your creativity. Perhaps one night have a look at the stars. Maybe use your intuition to see where your eyes gaze. Are you more attracted to a certain star over another? Use that. Maybe when you Google, when you search for different galactic races, is there one that has a strong resonance to you over another, so to speak? But no, you do not have just one galactic DNA. You have many origins. There is not just one origin point, because we are multidimensional. We are born in one life and born in many other lives at once. But just know we are much more than what we see in the mirror. Another interesting point is the Arcturians talk about we as a human collective, we're created to expand Gaia and to expand all that is. And we are doing that by addressing, by uniting these separated dimensions of us. And when we say separated dimensions, it is, seeing our emotions as separate, seeing one emotion is more favorable over another. It's about seeing that all our emotions are for us. Everything is happening for us. And by seeing everything in loving acceptance, we unite those separated aspects of us into oneness. So yes, if you're having emotions that come up because, this year has been intense, there were a lot of ascension shifts and purging going on. So you might experience a lot of what you call negative emotions being brought up. But instead of pushing that away and seeing it as unwanted, see it as part of your experience. Be grateful for it. Being loving acceptance of all emotions, of all experiences. And as you do this, you will then unite more of yourself into more oneness remembrance. And you will activate more of that oneness remembrance within you, that you are divine beings and you're also galactic beings. So know that everything that you see in your reality, that you see in your society, and that you see the whole world, it's actually all in preparation for the next stage of our evolution, which is knowing we are truly not alone in the universe, and that the collective will know this overtly. There are clues all around us. Even our media, you see, there might be, depending on where you live, of course, you might see little, tidbits of information coming forth about this, the classification of certain sightings and visitations. You might see little bits like this on the news or in your media. These are all helping us to prepare and be comfortable for their arrival. But you can do this right now by imagining, by exploring creatively different ways you can connect with them and how you would react, how would you feel if they did materialize in front of you. And practice connecting, opening your senses, knowing that they are coming out of love to assist us. We are them. There is nothing to fear. Well, friends, thank you for watching. Until we speak again, have a wonderful week. See you next time. And also, if you want to watch the original channeling session where this information comes from, then I'll put the link in the YouTube description. Okay, so love and light. Until next time, farewell.